in the verdant tapestry of Phoenicia, where the turquoise embrace of the Mediterranean met the sun-kissed earth, a legend pulsed with the rhythm of the seasons, the tale of Adon. More than a god, he was the embodiment of fertility, a youth sculpted by the divine hand with a face that mirrored the brilliance of a summer sun and a physique that echoed the strength of the cedars that kissed the sky. Around 200 BCE, his cult flourished in cities like Berytus, Africa, and Byblos. His name was a whispered prayer on the lips of farmers, a hope that their fields would yield bountiful harvests under his watchful gaze. But Adon wasn't merely a bringer of bounty. He was the consort of the fiery goddess Ashtar, a love story woven into the fabric of the cosmos. Theirs was a bond as passionate as the desert wind, yet a disquietude, a shadow cast by unseen forces, lurked at the edges of their happiness. Adon, with the untamed spirit of a mountain lion, craved the thrill of the hunt. He yearned to test his mettle against the denizens of the sprawling forests that rimmed the land. Ashtar, wise beyond her years, felt a premonition grip her heart like a serpent's coil. She saw visions of verdant life turning crimson, of laughter dissolving into screams. One day, under a sky ablaze with the promise of dawn, Adon, a glint of adventure dancing in his eyes, prepared for the hunt. He hefted his spear, its polished surface glinting like a shard of moonlight, and donned his hunting garb, the leather supple against his skin. Ashtar, her heart a tempest of foreboding, pleaded with him to stay. Her voice, usually rich and melodious, trembled with a tremor she couldn't disguise. "The forest holds a darkness today, my love," she implored, her eyes searching his. "Let the stags rest, for a different beast awaits the unwary." But Adon, consumed by the thrill of the chase, brushed aside her pleas. "Fear not, my love," he said, his voice brimming with a confidence that both soothed and gnawed at her. "I am Adon, blessed by the gods. No beast can stand against me." With a parting kiss, sweet as the nectar of a desert flower, he disappeared into the emerald labyrinth, leaving Ashtar alone with her gnawing dread. Days bled into each other, the once vibrant forest now a canvas of oppressive silence. The chirping of birds seemed muted, the rustling of leaves a melancholic dirge. Ashtar, consumed by a growing panic, found no solace in the offerings she placed at the temple. Sleep became a stranger to her, replaced by nightmares where the forest floor ran red and Adon's laughter echoed like a dying wind. Then, on a day when the sun seemed to hang heavy in the sky, a sound shattered the oppressive silence. A scream, raw and primal, ripped through the air, tearing at the fabric of reality. Ashtar, her blood turning to ice, recognized it instantly, the sound of a soul in its death throes. Driven by a force more powerful than reason, she raced towards the source of the scream, her bare feet pounding against the unforgiving earth. The scene that greeted her was a tableau of horror etched against the dappled sunlight filtering through the leaves. Adon, his once perfect form sprawled amidst the undergrowth, lay still, a crimson stain blooming on his chest. A monstrous boar, its black eyes gleaming with feral intelligence, stood triumphant over him, its tusks dripping with a crimson that mirrored the setting sun. A primal shriek, a sound that echoed the anguish of 1,000 lost souls, erupted from Ashtar's throat. She fell to her knees beside Adon, her touch a desperate attempt to deny the cold reality that gripped her. Tears, hot and furious, streamed down her face, each drop a searing brand on the earth itself. But even in the face of this devastating loss, a spark of defiance flickered in Ashtar's eyes. She wouldn't let death claim Adon entirely. With a voice that cracked with raw emotion, she called upon the gods, her plea echoing through the silent forest. "You who hold the power over life and death," she cried, "hear my plea. Do not let the darkness claim Adon, the lifeblood of our land. Grant him a reprieve, a chance to walk amongst the living once more." The forest held its breath. The wind stilled, the birds ceased their song. The very air thrummed with anticipation. Would the gods heed Ashtar's desperate plea? Or would Adon, like the fading summer sun, descend into the oblivion of the underworld, never to return? A tense silence stretched on, broken only by Ashtar's ragged sobs. Just as despair threatened to consume her, a low rumble echoed through the earth. The ground trembled, and the leaves on the trees danced wildly. A shaft of golden light pierced through the canopy, bathing Adon's pale form in a celestial glow. Ashtar watched, heart pounding a frantic rhythm against her ribs as the light coalesced into a figure. It was Inanna, the Queen of Heaven, her beauty as breathtaking as the starry expanse she ruled. Her gaze, filled with both compassion and regret, fell upon Ashtar. Ashtar, beloved of Adon. Inanna's voice resonated like the chiming of celestial bells. Your love for him has touched the very heart of the cosmos. However, the cycle of life and death cannot be broken. Adon, the embodiment of fertility, must spend part of the year in the underworld, nourishing the land from the darkness below. Ashtar's face contorted in anguish. The thought of Adon being separated from her, even for a time, was unbearable. But Inanna continued, her voice softening. Yet, your love has earned him a reprieve. For half the year, Adon will walk amongst the living, bringing forth the bounty of the harvest. And for the other half, he will reside in the underworld, ensuring the land's continued fertility. Tears welled up in Ashtar's eyes, but this time they were laced with a flicker of hope. A bittersweet victory, a love story etched in the very fabric of the seasons. With a wave of her hand, Inanna caused the golden light to envelop Adon. His chest rose and fell in a shallow breath, colour slowly returning to his face. Ashtar cradled him close, relief washing over her like a tidal wave. Adon stirred, his eyelids fluttering open to meet hers. A weak smile tugged at the corner of his lips. "My love," he rasped, his voice weak but filled with affection. "I dreamt of a golden light." Ashtar smiled back, a single tear tracing a path down her cheek. "The gods have heard our prayers, Adon. You are back, but our love will forever be bound by the rhythm of the seasons." And so, the legend of Adon was born, a tale of love, loss, and the unwavering power of nature. Every spring, the land would erupt in a vibrant display of life, celebrating Adon's return. And every autumn, the Phoenicians would mourn his descent into the underworld, a poignant reminder of the delicate balance between life and death. The story of Adon became a ritual, a way for the people to acknowledge the cyclical nature of existence, a cycle that, like their love, would forever bind them to the land.